All right, like Abdul Majid said, let's start the stream early because why not? I'm already sitting here anyway, just like you guys. And I'm not really running around this time. Usually I'm running around like the last 15 minutes before the stream trying to do a few things. Oh, we'll just take it easy. Take it easy peasy. Always a good time to make sure my microphone's working. All that other fun stuff. I have no trades yet on SPI. Do you guys have any trades on it? I was about to. I literally had my limit order on SPI. You guys won't even believe it right here. Canceled orders. Where was that? SPI at 29 and 30 on this pullback right here. And I would have actually maybe got filled, at least on one of the orders. I don't know. And then I pulled it back because I was like, let me wait for like 227 or something like that. It's like, nope, runs up 60% or so. Absolutely crazy. I'm really surprised SPI is holding the highs here. I was not really expecting SPI to hold the highs this well. I was expecting maybe a touch under VWAP or so. This is pretty bullish here, guys. We haven't seen a 200% gapper in quite the amount of weeks. Maybe over a month. Maybe even over, no, okay, maybe not over 2 months. But it feels like it's been since, I don't know, July somehow. Because August was pretty slow. September has been really slow. So yeah, it's nice to see this kind of activity here. Some more bigger volume coming in here. Let's review SPI really quickly. We have a 15 million float Hong Kong solar company, and they launched new EV subsidiary. Kind of interesting, but I was a little bit skeptical. I'm not gonna lie. I was like, okay, that's very vague. Don't really know what that means. I mean, we know what it means, but what does it really mean for the ticker? And then I looked at the weekly chart on SPI, and this thing, so much dilution, reverse splits. Who knows what's really going on with this ticker? So just be really careful. This is one of the more shady, probably looking tickers I've seen in a long time as well. Hey, but with those shady tickers, sometimes you get those big moves. So where I'm going to be looking at most likely is SPI out of the gates. I mean, it is probably by far the most interesting small cap lead gapper right now. Big support at $3, big resistance here at 4, and then again here at like 525, I would probably argue. So we came all the way to 368. Here's the $4 zone. This thing's pulling up again here. This is really impressive. And just really clean movement. Big volume just came in there. Constant news coming out about this one. This came out at 8 a.m. Riding the wave. Riding the total wave right now. SPI, the EV wave. Well, it is a nice float under 50 million. That's always what we would look for. So that 15 million float, it does have a catalyst. It does have spikes in the past. It has these former spikes here. Mixed, not usually multi-day runners. Doesn't always hold the highs that well. It's a bit of a mixed bag here. But it does have spike history. The daily chart is a little bit messy, but you can argue that there is really good room to run to at least 4, and then from there on up. Roughly the dollars. I like the fast rate of change. That's really nice. And to me, I always look for tickers between $2 and $7, and SPI totally fits that bill. Right now, actually, kind of could be setting up some sort of pullback. Let's see what happens here. They recently fixed their decimal places. It was extended earlier today, so that's kind of nice. talk about the other two lead gappers after maybe 9:16, around 9:15. I'll get started with the intro a little bit. This thing is still running. Absolutely crazy here. Very cool move. So strong. Looked like we were forming a bit of an ascending channel here, bearish pattern typically. I was waiting for a bit of a crash, maybe a retrace, and then a break under VWAP. We actually didn't end up getting that, and we kept on holding our highs here. That's a very bullish sign. So this one's constantly impressing me, always doing a little bit more than I would have expected. You got to be a bit quicker with this one. SPI has not been pulling back that strong like some other tickers we usually see. Just like here, you know, these pullbacks were very light. We had maybe the bigger pullback right here. Nice move again. And all these pullbacks in general are very, very quick. %23 down from pre-market highs was the max. Oh, Tristan, I don't think you got to tell me that. I think we all can assume that Ross is trading this puppy. But is he already streaming? Is he live? Could be a good setup here at 342 is something I would be looking at. Possible entry 342. Back to 340, 341. Could have been an average down. Let's see if this can retrace from here. This is typically how the SPI has been moving. So I wouldn't be surprised if we got similar movement again. Yep, there we go. So that entry at 42 would have worked pretty well. And I probably would have even considered taking profits already. That's a 3% move. I love how quick SPI is. It's absolutely mind-blowing. This thing has a high chance of getting halted today. So I'm going to be on hold watch pretty much. It's going to be interesting. I think every small cap or even day trader in general is probably going to be looking at SPI. This thing has so much power behind it. It's really quite insane. Let's quickly go to the last gap here was 722. This was kind of a long time ago. Not even sure if we're going to reach it in 90 days. Maybe just barely. Yeah. That was actually over here this day. Slow morning, but then slow pre-market, and then actually in the morning it really ended up ripping higher here. It's kind of a ferocious morning. You had to have been really quick. Hit that resistance and sold off. These were really strong pullbacks. Nice move there. That would have been a good entry at the 42. Didn't take it. I don't really feel like I'll do like trading usually like the first 2 hours after 7, and then I'll take like a little bit break before we have that market open. I need a little bit of downtime here. Gotcha, he's live. Gotcha. All right, well, let's get started here with the overall intro, a little housekeeping here, guys. Good morning. Welcome back to the stream where we first review the watch list, then we trade the market open every day. Hope everyone is feeling good, ready to go. Clear in the head, not hungover or anything like that. You want to be focused here. It is, what day today? It's Wednesday, typically a hot day. It's September 23rd, and it's 9:17 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So we got another 13 minutes here before the market opens at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Quick reminder, guys, for everyone that's new, this is for education and entertainment purposes only. My trades are quick and not meant to be followed. Always know yourself why you are entering and exiting a stock. This community is a place for us to help each other. Please do not spam. Check out the video description below for some FAQs, and let's get back to it. So, Still watching SPI, still watching MNOV. This was actually another ticker here. Lead gapper, 40 million float, US biotech, coronavirus, intranasal antibodies success. It looks like they're having some good catalyst in that regard. They did kind of sell off really aggressively here, 17% dip, but we know that there's big support right around 6. So I would probably consider trading this one. It never really sold off that much percentage-wise. It just looks like a lot. So I would probably consider trading MNOV on some sort of dip here lower into the open. So I'm going to have MNOV on my second chart kind of ready to go. Like I said, we have that big support right around 614. So let's keep an eye out for kind of the high 6s. Other than that, I don't know. Maybe I'd look for some bull flags. This one could have some good momentum in it, so we'll see what happens. POAI, second lead gapper here, 13 million float, US medical supply company secures license for cancer cell testing lines. So it's an interesting catalyst for sure. Long-term chart, not really too bad. Kind of bouncing around here a little bit. It's a continuous downwards trend. Huge resistance here at 2. That really kind of put me off a little bit on this one. But we have big support at $1. So even if we went to 123, this could be a pretty solid run. So yeah, here's the 126, a big resistance zone. So we have to really break above the 126 for this one to be a good runner. Right now, it's probably a no play for me, although I gotta say, huge support probably right below $1. So it could be really good dip buying opportunities on POA. But overall, it's been a pretty light morning. And then obviously SPI is really the one we want to be focused on. I'll review it again here. 15 million float, Hong Kong solar company. They launched an EV, a subsidiary company. Again, the big thing I would be very wary with is the long-term chart on SPI. It's very rough. This thing looks probably like it has a lot of dilution. And just I don't know, you want to be a little bit careful with a ticker like SPI. So far, it's absolutely rallying. So this is really good to see that. Bigger resistance around 4, and also here at like 369. This looks like it was a bit of a top here, so I'm going to highlight that area. It was also a bit of a pre-market resistance. So again, I think it's kind of an important zone to talk about. We just broke to a new high here of $4. So crazy stuff we're seeing, guys. Aaron says Webull updates the price faster than TOS for you. That's good, man. When I was using Webull in the mornings, it actually was the opposite. I would be like staring at both applications. I would usually see like a dip happen first on TOS, and then Webull would catch up. So maybe they fixed a few things. I'm not totally sure. Would have to look into it again. But I'm actually, I'm happy to hear that. That's some positive feedback. That's good. How would we want to trade SPI out of the gates in the morning? That's kind of the big question we're gonna have to think about, because SPI, this move so far is really strong. I typically don't like buying something that's up 260%, hoping that it's gonna go further, unless I get some sort of good setups. Maybe 5-minute bull flag, maybe a nice pullback to VWAP and the 9 EMA. Bigger pullback to support, and then looking for a continuation as long as we're still in that bullish trend. So right now I'm a little bit like, how do I want to go ahead and trade this one? So we'll see. We'll see maybe in like 5 minutes if something changes, and we'll kind of review that. Big volume though overall here, and I really like that $3 zone. MNOV kind of popping back in here. Nice volume on that. Broke higher from 6.6 all the way to 6.9, 5% move roughly. Yeah, Brandon, we're pretty focused on price action. Don't really use too many indicators. I have the 9 EMA here to identify support or identify resistance if we're on a downwards trend. VWAP to kind of, see what a lot of other traders are looking at, as a lot of people use VWAP. And also kind of identify clear trends, upwards or downwards trend. And that's pretty much it. Volume price action, I feel like, is all you really need. I'll be right back. Take a little break. Another 4 minutes here, guys. A good time to make sure all the time and force is good set up. Orders are looking right. You have ideal setups. We have about 1,000 for SPI, probably maybe a little bit high. Go ahead and move to 500. Nice, everything else looks good. Can't tell if it's chilly in here or if I'm just really excited for the open. Chad, yeah, I feel you. Another minute and a half here, just thinking, quietly to myself, what should I go ahead and do here at the open? Like we were talking about before, I would like to see some better setup on SPI. Long-term charts, very, very rough on this one. We know around 3.7 to $4, huge resistance above. VWAP is definitely a possible big support zone at the open, so that could be a way to play SPI. Wouldn't be surprised if we had a crack of VWAP, went closer to $3 either, though. That would be about a 6% risk. NAOB from yesterday. ACI. We'll have to check that one out a little bit later. Another 20 seconds here, guys, till the market opens. Good luck, everyone. I'm watching MNOV on my second screen and SPI on my first screen. A lot of alerts going off right now. SPI, instant rip higher here. 10% move. Could be a good flag pattern. I like with a 5-minute setup here. MNOV, big sell-off here. Would probably consider buying MNOV closer to 627 or so. SPI, the clear lead gap on the day, already $100 million volume. That's a huge amount of dollar volume, guys, at the open. Is this going to be a healthy pullback here on SPI, or is this going to rip below 3.5? I'm a little bit nervous. I'd be a little bit nervous to enter here on this one, although it could be a great setup here for a possible break of 410. Possible trade on MNOV. I'd be looking for something closer to the 25s. SPI looking actually pretty good. If I get a trade on MNOV, I'm not totally sure if I'm going to switch screens because I really want to keep SPI up on the main screen for now. SPI has some really good volume behind it. A lot of buyers on this one. Beautiful to see something like this. Markets are a bit mixed right now. MNOV selling off a little bit. 423. This 410 zone was a key area we were talking about before, pre-market 410. Big question, can we keep running here till we're at 4.5 and then 5? Quick pullback. 9 EMA retest. This one's already up 280% right now. A little bit higher than where I would want to be entering. MNOV, possible red to green, 3%. This is a really nice pullback there to around 390. I really like that move. This is something I typically would have joined. And you know, yesterday, that was for one of the first trades I did yesterday. You guys probably remember seeing that live, or at least in the recap video. I didn't feel comfortable doing it this time though on SPI, primarily because of that over 280% move so far. Makes me feel like we haven't seen that in a long time. I'd rather just kind of give it a bit and then kind of get used to some of these large cap or large movers again, big gappers. 3.4 right, 3.5 right below VWAP. Heavy order flow here for sure. No rush, just waiting for a good setup. MNOV selling off again, guys. Could be possible setup. My scanner is a little bit slow. So far not picking up anything. A little bit unfortunate. Corey, you and me both. There's definitely some potential with SPI, but right now it's a little bit choppy in terms of, no clear entry. You kind of just jump in it and hope for the best, but that's not really what we're doing here. We want to be looking for clean setups with good risk reward. Right now we're kind of in the middle of a deciding factor, so just kind of letting this one do its thing. MNOV actually looks a little bit more interesting, around 6.4 for a possible break higher. Oof, Jacob, I don't know if I could even think about that right now. MNOV pulling higher, 6.6. That was a nice break in 9 EMA. Still watching it, but no entry yet on MNOV. No entry yet for me since the market opened. We had 3 trades or so pre-market, but nothing yet since the market opened. I love seeing this energy with our lead gapper, but I also just don't really see a setup that I'm super stoked about, so I'm just kind of letting everything ride. MNOV cracking. I'm not sure why our scanner's not working right now. There we go, MNOV pulling lower. This is what we were waiting for. Not sure how much lower this thing's going to go. Looks like I just bought some more ADT in my swing account. We've been waiting for that order to get filled for quite some time. Markets are just a bit wishy-washy. NASDAQ down 0.5, but Dow Jones up 0.5. POAI did a spike, then at the open, then crash. Thanks for the heads up, Aaron. Yeah, I would have liked to keep watching it, but I think MNOV and SPI were a little bit more interesting, so I decided to keep attention on those. So SPI, let's go ahead and highlight this one. POA AI actually ended up being a little bit better. We actually had a really nice pullback here and a little bit of a bounce. Kind of a cool move here on POA. Congrats to anyone that got that one. And then obviously, actually not obvious. Where is an MNOV is not on this list because I scanned for 15% or higher. That's why it's not on this list. But really, SPIs are really main lead gapper here. $176 volume so far. Absolutely insane. MNOV selling off again. Would probably consider buying this one. Small starter size in the low 20s. SPI finally selling off. MNOV having a bit of a bounce. See if that one finds a bottom. No really rush to trade anything. SPI kind of selling off for the first time now. This last dip here was 23%. I'm not sure if we're going to get a move like that. I'll put us roughly kind of in this zone here at 3.2. This bounce looks weak. I would not be buying into this bounce. RXT boom. You guys are already making me excited to talk about mid and large caps. SPI. MNOV looks like it might actually break past 6.4 again. The dip buyers on SPI are very strong. We've been seeing SPI not really having those typical retraces, I feel like. No problem, Brent. 9:43 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So far, no trades yet for me since the market opened. We had some pre-market trades, but that's it. Ooh. Okay, this bounce was stronger than I expected. I think there's a lot of people watching SPI right now. Everyone's just kind of waiting for some sort of clear setup. So the key is just to be patient, wait, just be patient, and then, you know, when you see the right setup, then get aggressive, act quick. It is surprisingly strong, the way it moves. I'm still watching MNOV on my second screen. There we go. Buy order is getting chipped a little bit more now. Sell off on MNOV. Nice, Jay. I like MNOV a lot. SPI right now, a little bit shaky. I would not be surprised if this thing started ripping at one point here, 9:45 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Guys, got to remember, it's up $227. I'm surprised there wasn't even more profit taking at the open. The fact that this thing opened up and went higher really, really kind of shocked me a little bit. Typically, I would have a hard time buying right here, right under the 9 EMA on a retest, on a clearly short-term downtrending. But the fact that we're kind of holding this area makes me a little bit more bullish. I'm still not going to buy there, but I wouldn't be surprised if it broke above this. At the same time, this is typically a massive sell indicator with a 9 EMA above and VWAP and resistance on a horizontal scale. So that's why I would not be buying right here. But I got to say, this thing just has so much power behind it somehow. MNOV had a nice bounce there for sure. MNOV might be a really, really good entry coming up here soon. Don't want to jump around from too many stocks right now. I feel like we're going to get a good opportunity at one point. Sometimes I do miss other opportunities on different stocks because I'm not watching them, but I've had so many times where I'm jumping around between tickers and then I just kind of miss both the moves. So I'd rather, kind of watch my two tickers. And if one really doesn't do anything, then I'll switch that one out. Or if there's something that's really, really hot, then I'll think about switching it out as well. Yeah, so SPI, right there with that big resistance zone right here, a place that I would typically, wouldn't touch with a 10-foot pole going long, try to dip and it didn't sell off that much. So it's just like crazy how many buyers are on SPI. I just find it really, really strong, this one. So once it does start trending to the upside, I would assume people are going to be starting to buy the breakouts, buy the dips, the pullbacks very, very aggressively. MNOV looks like it really, really wants to crack higher here. It doesn't have that much relative volume though today. Morning panic on BLNK. Yeah, SPI, I gotta say, this is just insane areas here. It looks like it's gonna break through VWAP and 9 EMA. Just typical zones I would tend to avoid right here. High risk trade with probably not even the best reward. 355, boom, there we go. That was it. 8% pop. Maybe not a total 8%, but technically that's a 5-minute breakout right there. Definitely seeing some energy coming back in this one. SPI, I think a lot of people are watching this move here. Possible starter size here. Yeah, I wanted to fill around 66, maybe lower, but we didn't get it. See, this can go below 66. Interesting move here. What's up, E-Jigs? Good to see you. Matt Skills, gotcha. Dots have been connected. SPI, what's it gonna do? I feel like this is an interesting ticker. It's a bit of a slow mover. Held its highs there. I wouldn't be surprised if it actually continued waddling up here. We've been seeing that pre-market quite a lot, how this one's been trading. It's quite unusual, I felt. 375, just constantly people eager beavers on this. Not the biggest fan that the last shoulder flushed a little bit. I feel like SPI is a little bit tricky to trade. Overall, it's just not as clean of setups as you'd typically want from a lead gapper. A lot of the moves higher haven't been really clean pullbacks. They've been a little bit, just inching higher and then maybe a little bit of a red and then a little bit more inching higher, kind of like this one setup right here. Many of these setups as well. MNOV still pulling back here. Possible really, really interesting setup, I think, on MNOV right now, having a bit of a double bottom. SPI, I gotta say, guys, I'm a little bit on the fence on this one. Like, I don't have that good of a read on this one as I would have hoped. There goes a bit of a dump. You're probably right, Corey. Honestly, when I'm streaming, my whole TOS, my whole laptop gets much, much slower. The streaming software is no joke. So I think my whole entire TOS is just a little bit laggy. Yeah, I'm waiting for a 5-minute setup, something a little bit more clear on SPI. I just don't really like how it's a bit choppy, unclear. I don't really like the breakouts, just not really the patterns that I typically look for. I could have got probably a bit more aggressive and tried to trade it a few times, but it would have been, kind of shots in the dark. And I'd rather, if I don't trade all market open, that's how it is sometimes. It rarely happens. I think it only happened like twice in this whole year, but I'm okay with that. Got to be patient as a trader. Here we go. CLSK selling off. Good thing we closed that swing trade. 12% dip already. Remember, we were talking about this one having a little bit more support around 323. Yeah, I've adjusted my my memory dedication to TD Ameritrade already. I just can't make it go too high, as there's only so much RAM to go around with the streaming software. We'll have the new laptop too at one point this year, so that will help. MNOV looking pretty good, guys. Gotta say, this one's looking more and more interesting. Might try a small trade on MNOV on the side. Corey just said the same thing, so funny. Could be a pullback around 41 or so. Got my order ready to go on MNOV at 41. Just pulled back to 37. 600 shares here on MNOV. I'm not going to switch the screen because I'm still focused here on SPI. We'll talk about this one in the recap video. And after probably 10:30, I can mention it as well. MNOV bought the pullback on the breakout. Average size at 639, 600 shares. We have a nice double bottom. We have a high of 6.5 that I'd want to see break through, and this thing could easily run to 6.6, maybe even VWAP. Who knows? All right. Well, I might as well pop it up. MNOV. There it is. I like the fact we had a pretty clear double bottom there, and we had multiple attempts to break higher. Pretty strong move so far. Held its bottom pretty well. Gotta be careful. I mean, this thing could still dip lower, but put another size in there if we do dip a little bit lower. I'm gonna go back to SPI. MNOV's going up here just a tad. Looking for that ideal break there of 50. I'm not sure if we're going to get it. That's the goal though. SPI really trying here to make new highs. MNOV, possible break of 50. MNOV possibly trying to break 50 here again. More volume, more buy volume on MNOV. Possible move here past 52. Try to take profits on this one, but I missed my exit a few times. All right, close my position there. Maybe it's going to break higher. It was a little bit slower than I was hoping for. Kind of hoping it'd be a bit more solid of a move. Nothing too crazy, 10 cents a share on MNOV, actually 11 cents a share, but nothing really to run home about. Probably made like 60 bucks on it, roughly 66. Try to get out at 52, probably got a little bit too ambitious there. Could have got out maybe at 55, I don't know. Yeah. SPI, wow, I'm not gonna lie, for the fact that we had a gapper over 200%, it's really not doing a lot. And then MNOV, a ticker that is no longer on my watch list, is actually the one that's much more interesting to watch. I think SPI as well will have its move at one point. Anything here above 3.5 is I think when it's going to get a little bit more interesting. Ooh, MNOV just flushed all the way down to 635. 2 candles, bigger dip. I don't know. I think this ticker is a bit dead, to be honest. It was really struggling. Oh yeah, now it's really dumping. Got to take those profits quick when you have them, huh? We got another 30 minutes here for some series day trading. Let's see what happens. I think SPI should be picking up soon. $10.02. We tend to see some interesting activity around this time. I'm going to move POAI into my second screen now. Some bigger volume coming in with SPI. POAI, guys, hitting $1 right now. Absolutely wild. Big support at $1. SPI looks pretty interesting right here for a possible move. It's held its highs pretty well. It's always good to see something holding its highs. Technically, it never went down over 8% from that pre-market session. As a falling knife catcher. Maybe, Mark. Nice, Jay. Walking away some profits. It's all that matters. SPI. Kind of an interesting move here. Possible setup here on SPI. 100 shares long. 500 shares long. Looking for a little bit of continuation. Small position size. Took some profit there, closed this one out. Quick move, about 17 cents a share. I like this one a little bit more because we broke higher above this support line here at 366, and there was decent volume on that. Small position size though, about 1800, 1900. Nice, Corey. Beautiful move. I feel like SPI is a bit notorious for just being so kind of weird after the second candle. Possible entry on SPI at 74. Full size there on SPI. Took some profit off the table. Took some more profit off the table. I just, I don't know. I could have held that one longer. I thought we would get a quicker resolution. Yeah, whatever. We had that low there at 73. Possible second fill there. Definitely buyers looking at this. Big buyers coming in now. 2%. Let's see. Let's watching this one just a little bit. See if it goes back to 71. Wouldn't mind a dip on 71. Possible size there at 70, 73. Maybe 75. No, kept missing it. 780. This looks like it's about to rocket on out of here, I gotta say. It's a very strong setup. Looking to buy this move here. Unloading some shares. All right, I'm not gonna lie, that was a little bit sloppy. I accidentally double clicked. I got 1,500 shares instead of 1,000. I felt a little uncomfortable, and then I kind of closed out this position. Now it's rocketing higher. Sorry guys for being so sloppy just now. That was a little bit embarrassing, but I got more than I bargained for, and then I was like, ooh, God, not breaking out as fast as I wanted. Let me just close out this one. So kind of scalpy there on my end. It is what it is. Nice volume, breaking higher. Nice move there. Shoulda, coulda, woulda held longer, but it is what it is. $10.09. $4.23 is really the place to break. I'm not sure if SPI is going to break that. I think a lot of people are watching this one. It's $300 million volume so far. Pretty sweet. The clear lead gapper on the day without even a question. It's good when there's like the most obvious ticker, right? Everyone's probably watching SPI right now. It's a little bit overextended, actually probably a lot overextended. I honestly didn't think the news was that great. It just kind of seemed a little bit like okay. So that's kind of why I've been so iffy on this ticker as well. Not to mention, we just didn't get those clean setups I was really, really hoping for. Super true, City. We'll be right back. Let's see how it goes. We got another 25 minutes or so. We'll probably be trading. All right, guys, let's get back to it. Don't forget to drop a like if you are enjoying what you're seeing. If you're learning something new here, I really, really do appreciate it. Let's keep going with SPI. It's trying so hard to break this 405, 410 zone. If you're totally new here, remember we come out with a recap video after every trading day. Don't forget to subscribe and check out the recap video. We go really over in detail each and every trade. All right, let's give it here like another 15 minutes or so, and then we'll switch to swing trades. I like this action we're seeing here on SPI. Bit of a double top zone. The way SPI moves is so quick. Just like 3 tiny looking candles, this thing's up 9%. You know, it's crazy. It's beautiful. This is the action we've been waiting for, 10, 11%. Big double top at 423. I would absolutely not be surprised if we at least touched that 423 just for people to see, you know, can we break through it? Sounds good, City. Boom, we just hit that new high. Really, really impressive. Volume's kicking in. SPI, really hard. 4.5 was that key zone we were talking about earlier. And then the next zone is like 5, maybe 520. 5 because it's a whole dollar key zone, psychological zone. Then 520 is really where there's more bouncing activity on opens and closes. Wow, look at this move. Absolutely insane. 23% right now. 10:15 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Last time it did this, it started going really, really exponential. Never really pulled back too hard. What an absolutely wicked move. No new news came out just now that I'm aware of. POA had a nice bounce off $1, up about 6-7% from that. Slight pullback here on SPI. Constant dip buyers on this one, always impressive. Possible starter size here at 63. Didn't get it. This thing, strong moves here. Could be the beginning right here to the next setup. 84. There we go, a bit of the flush we were kind of waiting for in a way. Actually wanted that entry, 54. Let's see if we're going to get another possibility. $350% up now on the day. Possible starter size here. At 55. Possible second entry at 46. Just entered full size here, looking for that continuation back to the upside. Looks like it's still selling off. I'm going to try to close out. All right, just closed out on this one. Oh, no, I didn't. Have a stop here. Join the ask. All right, I'm out of this one. Got the 9 EMA retest. Thanks, Tristan. Woo, this ticker, man, sure gets my heart beating a little bit. I'm not gonna lie, it's kind of crazy. Another 9 minutes here. I'm gonna give it. I mean, unless something crazy happens, but I don't know. Yeah, I mean, technically every trade you either don't enter early enough, or you could have entered at a better price, or you could have sold at a better price. You're always leaving money on the table, but that's not what trading is about. Who cares if you have a perfect entry or perfect exit? It's all about taking the meat of the move, profits on the table. I'm absolutely horrified of like the months in the challenge account when we were up 3-4% and I didn't take my profits and we closed for 1% loss, simply because we only had like 1 or 2 trades we could make that day because it was a cash account. So that was really annoying. 7% move from that 90 EMA dip. Wow, this thing is really impressive. It's a weird mover. I'm not gonna lie, I don't have a good read on it, and that's why I'm taking like only like really good risk reward trades, because my read on this one is just a little bit iffy. Amen, wild boy. Yep, Eric, totally true. I wish I had a better read on this one. I felt like I had an okay read right in this area, but after that, I don't know, I kind of dropped the ball a little bit. Wow, this thing is absolutely insane here. Another 6% up. I have a new high there at 498. Really sweet to watch this one. We're on our 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 green candle in a row, 6 5-minute green candle in a row. Just something to think about, guys. Not necessarily saying it's a bad thing or that this is going to pull back. Sometimes we see 7, 8, 9, 10 green candles in a row, right? Just saying something to think about. Last time we were at 6 big green candles in a row before we had the pullback on the 7th for a short period of time, green candle that then it flushed down. Corey, are you still trading SPI? I'm so happy we have a 300+ % lead gapper, guys. I would like to go back and find when the last time we had a 300% lead gapper. I really do feel like it was July. But then, you know, all like the first and second quarter, it was like every day almost. It almost felt weird. I almost was like annoyed when we didn't have one. That's how many we used to have. So it's kind of good to see this. Nice, 1 AP Pro. The momentum on this ticker is just a little bit next level. $10.25. It also put me in a hole. That's funny. Markets are all fairly red. I'm not crazy bullish in this area. I'm kind of waiting for something like in the 410s. I don't know if we're going to get it, but that's what I would be waiting for. I would not be buying this consolidation right here. Could have a fake out, but I'd be very bearish at this moment. I feel you, 1 AP Pro. Thanks for the like, man. I'll see you next time. I'll see you tomorrow, hopefully. Shrikant, I know what you mean. Sometimes I go through a little bit of the same situations where my swing trades are doing better, and then my day trades are just kind of like meh. But then I also go through times where I don't swing trade for like 3 weeks, and then I have my day trading doing really, really well. So I like to separate the two. That's why I have a swing trade account and I have a day trading account on this platform. And then I totally separate the two. Out of sight, out of mind. We'll be talking about swing trades later today. But yeah, with day trades, you really can't rush anything. And with swing trading, you can't really rush anything. Sometimes you get the good setups and sometimes you don't. So the more you rush, the worse it gets. So that's why I like to have two accounts. It kind of makes me feel like if one of them is kind of going through like a lagging phase, I feel totally fine with that. Here we go. SPI actually had a bit of a flag pattern there on the 1 minute with potential here for a breakout. I think it's going to be a bit of a fake out and then it's going to sell off. So that's kind of what my theory is. I could be wrong. There's nothing wrong with being wrong. It's just always good to have a thesis in your mind and then, kind of plan out what you think might happen. That's kind of what I'm doing in my mind. Okay, so it's selling off here a little bit. Thanks, Paul, and happy that helped maybe a little bit, Shrikant. But yeah, dude, I totally get your situation, man. Swing trading is when you're holding a position for a few days. Day trading, you're doing intraday trading, so that's between the market open, the market close, and you don't hold any positions overnight. Swing trading, most of my swing trades are only a few days, but sometimes they're 2 weeks long, 3 weeks long. They could be up to 2 months long. Swing trading is like you're looking for a bigger move, so you're using the 4-hour and the daily chart the most. And then day trading, I'm using the daily 5-minute and 1-minute chart, and I'm looking for those quick setups. My average day trade is only like 3 minutes long, and I think it's gotten less than that actually. Thanks, Mika, for the $3, man. Fist bump. There we go. Appreciate the support, man. Happy to hear, Maggie. Would swing trading SPI tonight be descends? I don't know. We'll talk about SPI in the recap video, definitely a bit more, and what might be a possible upcoming swing trade on it, or maybe an overnight hold. I can't really answer that yet because I like to see what happens over lunch. I feel like that's quite an important trading period. A lot of trial and error, Lillian, watching other people. But I think I've really started getting better as a day trader like 4 years ago when I started documenting all my trades on for my crypto day trading, and then I was able to review them, and that's the one thing I brought with me for stock trading. And then just knowing what you're trading, like understand like why you're trading which tickers. Like if someone calls out a ticker and you just start trading it, that's not super helpful. But in this community, we make it a big thing that everyone here should have a scanner and know what their scanner is filtering for, why they're filtering for it, how they're going to be trading based on those specs. That's why I have a whole video here on the scanner, and I share it with you guys. Should all be very transparent. Yeah, Steven, that's also an option to kind of have the 20 or 15-minute EMA exponential moving average as a bit of a support zone. And if it breaks that, then you sell. It's definitely not a bad idea. I don't know. I say go try it. Everyone's got to figure it out for themselves. To me, I like to be a little bit more quick. Oh, wait, 1 second here. I just like to take profits a little bit quicker. Bigger sell-off there. $4.28. It's actually kind of a bigger move, 7%. Guys, remember it's 10:33. Let's see what happens. I wanted this to go in the 410s and actually get one more trade out of it. It didn't happen yet, so I'm still kind of watching this one. SPI can get so easily halted, and that's a bit of why I'm so nervous about this ticker. I'm actually really surprised it can get halted on this move. Maggie, yeah. Me too. I like that we interactive here. SPI pulling back 423. Honestly, these are really, really nice dip buy entries. We're approaching. This is exactly the zone I was talking about before, around 410. Just watching it. Still a lot of selling here. It's having a hard time bouncing. If it bounces without me, then it is what it is. But until it does that, I'm going to keep watching it just a little bit closer here. This could be actually it. God, it's the way that SPI moves. I mean, these tiny candles are just absolutely wicked percentage returns. I'd be a little bit careful here. I think at the top you're going to have 4.5% upside, which actually isn't that bad. But I think the downside risk here is quite staggering. So I'd be a little bit careful here dip buying SPI at this point. It's having issues getting through. I wouldn't be surprised if it had a quick pullback and then, you know, went to 4.5. Let's see if that happens. 427. Buying on this initial dip probably would have been the way to go on it. 431 wants to break so bad. Here goes 432, 33. Oh, I would be jumping out of this one. Oh man, this is just not sustainable right here. 26. Well, here it goes. It went back to 35 for a split second. Gotta give it to this SPI, man. It's such a tricky one, I feel like, which kind of makes it super fun. 32, 31. I think I'm done trading. I think I gotta wrap it up here. I'm always mad pessimistic on these small caps, especially when they're up so much on a catalyst that I don't fully understand. Yes, Steven, super true. It's moving its total sloth mode right now, huh? Anyone buying CLSK? It's on near big $12 support actually right now. Yeah, Harley, I totally feel you, man. Those I don't want to be part of the flushes either, and sometimes there's certain setups that are just much more flush potential, right? I mean, right now, the chance of this thing quickly flushing down to 3.8, having that nice dip towards VWAP, I just find is so high. So I would not be entering a ticker at this point. But at the same time, SPI has somehow not really been the biggest dipper today. Maybe at one point it really will. How do I watch out for fake outs versus the real breakout? Typically, to me, a real breakout will be a nice solid candle that closes near the high, and the next candle also is closing near the high. Something like this right here on SPI, where we had a nice breakout and then we closed near the high. That means there was a whole minute where people could have dumped and faked out, but they didn't. That's a really bullish sign to me. I think that happened here a little bit earlier too. Here was a good breakout. Here's the next 1 minute. Could have dumped this whole time. It didn't. Eventually actually did dump here. So this was a failed breakout, which could be called a fake out, but at least you had opportunity to buy the pullback, notice it was weak, and even take some profit, right? It wasn't just a spike higher and then an instant move lower. So that's why I typically don't buy the pullback right away. I typically let one candle between so I can kind of decide a little bit more. I'll put SPI on my second screen just so I can keep watching it. I'm not going to trade it, but it's just mad entertaining to watch, and I know you guys will probably be talking about it, so this way I can look at it easier. Let's go ahead. We're done with day trading for today. We're wrapping it up here. I'm not sure how much we traded today. Probably a good little bit, I would assume. I feel like we were quite active. What's it? And actually, maybe not too active. One trade here, two, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 8, is that 8 trades? I feel like we did more than that. I don't know, maybe we did a little bit more. Last time it's counted 9, but it actually ended up being 11, so I could be wrong. Nice day today, pretty much like yesterday. Yesterday we had a $450 day. Today we're having a $479 profit day. Really, really sweet. I think a part of that I have to attribute to the fact I used a little bit more position size, but at the same time, my biggest winning trade today, we only had a $1,900 position size. I had a few trades that were closer to $5,000. I think I had one trade over $5,000 position size, but still we're under $5,000 and we're more around like the $3,000 mark on my average position size, maybe sometime a little bit more today. So I wouldn't say we did any blow away trades. I wouldn't say we did like amazing trading today. SPI, I was being chopped around quite a bit. But at the same time, I think I managed my risk fairly well. And I don't even know if we had a loss today either, so that's pretty nice. If I didn't have a loss today, that means yesterday I didn't have a loss and today. That would be like over 20 trades with no losses. So that's pretty sweet there as well. That doesn't happen all the time, so that's pretty cool. Let's just actually go ahead and kind of document this quick moment here. For later. And yeah, so that was a sweet little trading day today for sure. Yeah, Wild Boy, the accidental double down. That's the one I went over 5,000 today. That was like a $6,000, $7,000 trade, but I closed it pretty much right away. So it was big size, but it was tiny percentage profit. Thanks, Constantine. Thanks, Shrikant. Appreciate it, guys. JC. Needs to hit $6. It's tempting. It had just a phenomenal bounce right now off at 410. I mean, that's literally the zone we were preaching this whole time, right? 410, 410, 410. That's the zone. Just literally hit 410 or 411, and now it's up 9% from there. Did anyone get that trade? It's absolutely ridiculous. let's talk here a little bit about some of these swing trades that we're in. I do want to kind of point out the fact that we closed CLSK. I'm sure all of you guys are aware of that. We closed it yesterday evening because I really didn't like how this one was behaving. I didn't like the kind of overall resistance here coming in. I didn't really feel comfortable with the fact that, you know, battery day was right around the corner. Actually, it was the day. I felt like EV companies are overextended. In CLSK, I don't know enough about, but I don't want to get stuck in the next NKLA. So I ended up closing this swing trade. We made like a small profit on it. I don't know what our profit was. I actually have it documented, maybe like 3% or so. Ultimately, this one, I just didn't feel that comfortable holding it long term, so I kind of closed it out. We still are in GE and we're still in ADT, so these are our two other swing trades at the moment. Jake, how can I day trade without the pattern day trader rule in this account? So the 25K challenge account has the pattern day trader rule. It's a cash account and it's in a Roth IRA fund. So this one, that's why I use it for swing trading. I have to be very slow with it. The unlimited account has over $25,000 in it, and I use that one for day trading with a margin. I don't use margin in my trades. It's a margin account. Nice, Lillian. Take care. Happy to have you here. When did I first start trading? Oof, I don't know, a long time ago, 2013 or so. We actually started the Roth IRA account with $1,000. I was gonna do a video about that at one point, and right now it's around $9,000. It's been a sweet run with the IRA account. So a lot of swing trades though. We had some nice winners. So I want to get the IRA account up and away, because once that counts over 100K, it's gonna be nice, because since it's a tax-free account, it's gonna be really nice to grow the IRA account. Nice bounce on SPI. Gotta say, that was a really nice one. I'm not sure if I regret not trading it, but that was a perfect setup. So maybe I do regret it a little bit. It's kind of itching a little bit. We could have at least walked away with maybe like 2-3% if I sold really fast. Let's go ahead and just run through some of these other possible swing trades. I always like to kind of check this out and see what's down a lot today. That somehow kind of really makes me excited here to see what I want to be trading. NKLA down 5%. Oh, no major surprise there. KCAC, look at this one actually. Let's go to the 4-hour and check this one out a little bit closer. This is the daily right now. Big sell-off here. KCAC, kind of surprised. Looks like a lot of EV-related tickers sold off on battery day, which is totally no surprise. And what we've been talking about, that, you know, buy the rumor, sell the news, guys. It's pretty much investing 101. Not to mention, I've been very bearish on a lot of EV stocks just because in my eyes they're all overextended. I love the industry. I love the momentum behind it. I just feel like short term, the stock prices are too high. That's it. Really depends on the country, Abdul. I mean, there's so many variables. All your broker should prepare a 1099 for you by at the end of the year if you are a U.S. citizen. I don't know. I feel like $8 is a little bit high, but anything on these small caps, I don't necessarily. I'm usually not too surprised. Like if SPI went to randomly let's just say some ridiculously high number here, like broke 7, I wouldn't be totally surprised. It's just like these things. These things are they're very unpredictable at times in terms of how far they can go. I don't really see, I gotta be honest, I don't see this thing breaking $7. We've had many retests in this zone. The amount of resistance at $7 is probably massive. Not to mention, if you zoom back here, you'll notice that there's much more volume on these other candles until we have the volume today. It doesn't mean there's actually more people trading today. It just means there's more dilution going on and there's much more shares available to be traded. So you want to be really, really careful with that, because that means this company is only going to go in one direction. That's the downside. So you just got to keep that in mind. Be very, very careful. And that's why I don't really believe SPI will break $7. I don't think it will even break 6.5. Maybe it will. Who knows? It is kind of holding its highs really, really well. So maybe it will. I'm not saying it's not possible. I'm just saying for me, that's not something I would bet on. For now, we have to really see if we can break $5. That was that daily high right now at 498. And then 525 seems to be some big resistance. If we could break that, I think we might see $6.50, $7. And then between $6.50 and $7, we'll see where we go from there. But I think these two zones are the kind of first zones we got to see if we can break through before we even talk about something like $8. Yeah, Abdul, I would just contact a local CPA at that point, but it should be pretty straightforward. How come you don't have to pay any capital gain, but you have to pay dividend? Because getting dividends is actually capital gains. Yeah, I feel you, Tristan. And I feel like Sonos was, kind of left me a little bit. Would have been so sweet to average down on this one. But yeah, we got out of this trade and we weren't really able to get back on it, up 20% already. JETS, I would love to get long JETS. I'm waiting for another pullback. I think under 16, I'm going to start accumulating jets. I'm not American, it's a ETF on airline stocks. You could get a little bit more aggressive and buy a specific ticker like AAL, but I don't know enough about the specifics on the airlines. So I would probably go with an ETF. RCL, less upside, but much, much less downside. CCL, I missed the Royal Caribbean bounce. Oh, I had my limit order at like 59. I moved it down to 55 and it bounced to 62. And I was like, oh, should have stuck with my gut on that one. Intel here at 50, kind of really consolidating a lot. AMD, we had kind of nice bounces across the market. I'm still waiting for bigger sell-offs, but so far, I mean, pretty nice bounces, I gotta say. Space, I'm waiting for space to really dip lower here into like the 11s or so. I don't really feel super comfortable. 12 to like 13. I don't really like the price where it's at right now. The momentum behind it is a little bit weak. Tesla selling off as well. A lot of tickers just dumping. Yeah, Apple. It's a ticker that I would love to just throw it in my long-term investment portfolio. Anything under $100. So I think I'm gonna wait for that with Apple. I'm not gonna swing trade it. I'm not gonna day trade it. I find it kind of a little harder to predict. So I'm going to. If it goes under 100, I'm going to start accumulating and just put it into my long-term portfolio. Workhorse had a giant dip. I've been waiting for a move to the downside on Workhorse for a while. Still wouldn't touch it. CLSK, yeah, down at 12. So good thing that we left that ship. ADT. You know, I'm ADT, man. This stock, I'm really wondering, like, we had the big Google partnership right here. On the 31st roughly or something like that. I don't know, August 3rd, maybe, whatever day this was. This thing runs up like 100+%, right? And then it pretty much just sells off and gives back all of its profit, although nothing has fundamentally changed in terms of the Google partnership. I mean, they're still on board. If anything, this company is getting stronger and stronger. I don't really get why it's sold off so much. So that's why I started accumulating ADT, and we have a decent little position size on this one, pretty much exactly where the price is right now. So we have a position size at 856.7, and right now the price is pretty much at that. So yeah, I would like to sell on a move back to $10. That would be a 14% profit or so. I feel like there's really good risk reward on this one, pretty straightforward. If we break below 8, I would start selling on a retest of 8. That's my downside risk. Dan says, no way Apple is going under 100. Yeah, man. No offense taken. I'm also very skeptical. I was like, I should be buying on 103 when it hit it, and I didn't. I was waiting for that closer move to 100. I probably would have started accumulating at like 101 or something like that. Yeah, dude, like, I feel you. I don't know if it's going to happen either, but if I feel like the whole market is overextended, and I'm waiting for everything to come down. I still feel like it's too early to start buying, but I could be totally wrong. That's just how I feel, and I'm just going to stick with it for now, and I'll readjust in like a week or two if it doesn't look like we're going to keep pulling back. Do you think it can go up after hours? What goes up after hours? Lots of investors are SPI. Like I said, man, SPI, I would want to say, I'm going to talk about it in my recap video. So to check out the recap video when it comes out, I'll definitely be analyzing SPI a little bit more. For now, I've kind of said everything there is to say about it, and we need a little bit more price action and news before I can make my next kind of thesis. CVAC, down below 49. These are really interesting zones on a company like CVAC. There's huge support on this one. I don't really see it pulling back so much. If this thing has like 1 or 2 big red days, there's no way I'm not jumping on CVAC. So those are something I would maybe consider. LMND, so silly. I was about to jump in this one at 46. Then I was like, you know what? I'm going to wait till it goes to 45. Never ended up doing it. Now it's up 20%. So that's kind of a painful miss there on LMND. I think it's a really, really good ticker to maybe go long. XPEV. Chinese EV company, recent IPO, could be an interesting pick. Wild Boy says 98 for Apple. Zoom, I honestly don't get how Zoom is so extended. It kind of blows my mind a little bit. AMC, chilling at that $5 zone. RXT, sweet bounce off of 17. Maybe, I mean, we had a kind of a solid triple bottom here. Maybe I should be getting long. I don't know. RXT looks pretty healthy here. So I think this could be a really good swing trade. Again, I was waiting for RXT to come a little bit lower. Let me actually show you guys to my unlimited account. Actually, let me just go to all accounts. And yeah, here you can see this is my limit order. I was waiting for that 16.5 that we just never ended up getting. DKNG, yeah, this thing's holding its highs very well. I gotta say, you know, big hats off to DKNG for just slaying it. I actually kind of wanted to buy this on a retest of break of 50, so I missed my opportunity there. This thing's back up 10%. Absolutely wild, this ticker, just crazy. Another ticker, PENN, Penn National Gaming, something else to consider, along with BETZ, the ETF on gaming and sports betting. So 2 tickers probably to check out a little bit more. CVS, Walgreens, 2 tickers that might be a little bit hotter in the flu season. I would like to buy both of these on a little bit further dips to the downside. DPHC, wow, what was this? Big sell-off there, huh? What do I think about Alibaba? I don't know. What's the ticker? Baba or something like that? I'll check it out in a second. SNOW. There is no way that this thing is getting so much momentum. I'm not trading SNOW here in these zones at 250. I'm still waiting for a crack at 215. Ideally closer to their original IPO at one, or not their original, but like their first or second extended IPO price at like 125. I don't really see myself jumping in on SNOW above 200. GME, GameStop, this one would have been a phenomenal dip buy here in this area. We missed it. Now it's really, I don't know. I don't know if I want to jump in on it, but I like this $10 zone. It's a key psychological zone on GameStop. So maybe $10 would be a interesting target. I could see this going all the way up to 12, no problem. So I think there's decent risk reward here on GameStop for sure. And then MNOV, this is the biotech we were talking about yesterday. It was called out in the chat room. We were talking about between $20 and $25, huge support. So even if there was no catalyst that came out, this thing would probably end up bouncing really hard. And guess what? It did. Just a pure technical play there in my eyes. I don't know, unless I'm missing something. ICET made an offering, sell stock 2 days, canceling offering. Classes always getting in the way. It's been a nice run up with Baba for sure. I haven't really marked this one yet. This $200 zone seems quite critical. So these are the key support zones. Right now it's trending on the 9 EMA. I would have to look more into Baba. Like besides like general knowledge from, I feel like what most people know about Baba, you can buy a bunch of wholesale stuff there in quantity from China. I don't know much more about Baba. So I don't know if I could really talk about this one properly. I do like the uptrend here. It looks very, very strong. I don't know. I like, unless there's fundamentally something wrong with Baba, it looks like a good pick. So if you guys know about it and you guys think it's a good play, this could be a great time to pick some up. Or wait for a little bit more consolidation. I mean, right now a lot of stuff is selling off, so maybe wait for Baba to have a bigger pullback. But right now it's still in a pretty healthy trend to the upside, and it doesn't really show major signs of reversals besides the fact that the volume is selling off. That's sometimes a red flag right there. So with each high, we're having less buy volume. It's kind of like a rocket that goes up with less and less volume. That's a little bit what I'm seeing right now with Baba. So who knows? That could be something about it. Tesla refuses to hold VWAP. Abolisher, you don't have to write every little play-by-play in the chat room. Only, the chat room is really for asking questions, getting help, maybe contributing something that's happening in the market that we should check out, calling out new tickers. Please don't clutter it, man, or else I'm going to have to put you on timeout. Majority of Baba stuff counterfeit. Yeah, see, that's something I would be absolutely not surprised about. SPY, nice moves here. SPY might actually break a new high at 498 is the high. Boom, it just broke it. 510 right away. Sweet move on SPI. 520 is the new high. Crazy, crazy stuff. Yeah, that. How was the quality of the rip-offs? Was it pretty much the same, identical product? Probably, maybe from the same factory. Who knows? Wow, huge move on SPI. Eric says no, not good. Oh man. Well, I guess that's a good and a bad thing a little bit. Keeps the companies a little bit more secure that are actually producing, doing all their research and getting the products out there, creating the products. Have I looked for QLG and Dan as for bio swing trading? No, I have not. I'm actually not too big into swing trading biotechs. I actually just tend to avoid it in general. They just seem to go down all the time unless you're really dealing with a large cap biotech, and then randomly they'll have a giant spike or they'll just get more and more dilution. Wow, SPI guys just hit 573. What a rip on that, huh? That's a huge move. Let's just pull it back up. 40% move so far. Yeah, Tyler, I feel you. But the thing about day trading, and that's actually what I love most about day trading, is the fact that I don't have to watch the market 24/7. So I tend to watch the market like 2 hours leading up to the opening bell, and then I traded with you guys for the next 2 hours. Technically, I could reduce that probably to an hour and a half. I would probably just start focusing 30 minutes before the market open and then trade it for an hour after from 9:30 to 10:30, because that's actually what I do. That's when I do most of my work. So, and that's kind of amazing. You, as a day trader, you're in and out of the market. You don't have to worry too much. And then I love swing trading as well. So I there's like a place in my heart for both of those things. And then investing, that's a whole different world. That's just kind of like buying companies you believe in and holding them long term. That's a whole different thing. That's a bit more wealth creation side. I would say swing trading and day trading is a bit more like job category. Trading emotional. Very, very nice strong move there on SPI. I gotta say, SPI on the 5 minute looks super, super healthy. That's actually one of my favorite time frames for this ticker. It just looks really, really strong. You can kind of see the trends a little bit clearer. That's really the way I feel like trading SPI would have been. I wrapped up trading around 10:33. Probably could have stuck around a little bit more for the bounce off of 410. Like I said earlier, I think that was kind of like a very obvious one. So yeah, I kind of regret that a little bit. I don't mind trading past 10:30. So I only usually wrap up 10:30 when there's no opportunity, which has been the case. So it kind of feels like it's a rule, but it's not a rule. It's just at 10:30, if there's no great opportunities, I want to kind of stop trading. But with SPI, we had a good opportunity, so I should have not stopped trading. That skills. Was it, man, sorry to hear, was it on SPI or what happened? Nice, D Brooks. That's what it's about, man. It's the candle trading stick Bible is yeah, it's easy to digest in terms of like it's not overly complex, but there's a lot of terminology and there's a lot of kind of patterns that if you just stare at them long enough and you just constantly review it. That's why I've read that PDF or book like 3 times already. It's just like the more you review it, the more it gets ingrained in your head, and then the next time you see it, you're just like blam, and you execute and you go for it. You like don't want to be thinking about like is this a good setup, is this a bad setup. The better you get at trading, you want that kind of be a bit more automated. So good read, man. Good job, D Brooks. Happy you liked it. Yeah, mad skills. I feel you, man. Any loss is always a little bit annoying. I totally know where you're coming from. Gotcha, Tyler. Yeah, that's true. With day trading, I mean, you got to be there every day. If you're not there, you're not making money. Swing trading is pretty amazing because you could just technically dedicate 30 minutes at any point of the day and just manage your portfolio, place limit orders, and that's pretty much it. Read some articles, get some ideas, and that's pretty much it. It's a nice place to be. Man, guys, SPI. Let's just take a moment and appreciate what's going on here. This thing's at 450% gapper today. It looks like it's about to break 595. We just had a high there. It's really, really good to see a ticker with this much energy again. Even if I'm not trading it, it's just absolutely wild. It's good to see this. This is really the momentum we've been missing a little bit. So I'm super stoked that we're getting some sort of momentum again. Yeah, Jacob, I totally feel you, man. When I had the pattern day trader rule in my cash account, which I still do, but I was day trading it, it was so hard to be scalpy because you'd always want to get a little bit more out of each trade, but you just couldn't, or that would mess you up. I don't know, Nana. If it's your first time, I would just watch and learn. Maybe paper trade, just to see what happens. Learn the system a little bit, but there's no need to FOMO into a move late in the game here. Who knows? It might still keep going, but I'd be very very careful for sure. Sweet move though, 6.5 guys, absolutely crazy. I'm actually not sure on the difference, Robert. So if anyone else knows, I'd be interested to hear too. No, pattern day trader rule. Yeah, Abdul. Sorry, I read that wrong. It applies only to the margin accounts. Absolutely crazy move here. It's just fun to watch this one. All right, guys, I'm going to wrap up here in like 2 minutes. Drop a question if you have any. And on the way out, don't forget to drop a like. I really, really do appreciate it. And if you're totally new here, remember we do a recap video after every trading day. Today, most likely, I'll be focused a bit more on SPI, see what else we can learn from it, see if we can analyze a bit more where it's going to go. Who knows when it's going to start consolidating, but this has been another beautiful run on this ticker. So it's really good to see this kind of momentum back here. I wasn't expecting it because we've had weeks of no good small caps. So hopefully this is a sign what's to come. I mean, we're officially in fall, I think as of yesterday. When's the first day of fall? I keep forgetting. But anyway, this is, this is the start potentially of, third quarter high volume trading. So I'm really, really looking forward to it. The summer's more or less over. So yeah, guys, we're going to be probably seeing a little bit more of this for sure. What price would I trade Tesla? Yeah, we could jump on that quickly. Robert says, looked it up, flatten, now we'll commit order, auto without confirmation window. Oh, okay. Subtle difference, but actually quite important. Also, if you have auto send on, there shouldn't be a confirmation either. Tesla, 336 was that kind of low. I wouldn't be surprised if we touch this area again to see what if we're gonna hit a new low. To me, this is a big crack of a volume. To me, this is not just a pullback. This is a crack, a significant crack of volume. So I would probably avoid investing in Tesla until we really go lower again. I think there could be a longer sell-off period. We've talked about it quite a lot. There's been many times where Tesla sold off, 50% or so. So this was a 62% sell-off, for example. So I'd be really waiting for Tesla to really, really have a bigger dip. Let's see, that's a 34%. So if we kind of go down here, go into the 50s, maybe even a touch of the 180-day moving average, or 180 simple moving average, I wouldn't even be surprised. But for my long-term investment account, I'm going to be holding off on this one. I'm sure it's going to have some sort of bounce here off of 330 at one point. I don't know. I don't really like trying to predict Tesla. But I still do think there's plenty of downside potential on this one, as I do think it's a bit overextended in the short term. Snow is really up a lot today, huh? Yeah, Eric, I'll quickly recap that. So the level 2, you got it right here, and you got it right here. This is basically just a different format. This is called the ladder on TD Ameritrade. And SPI now at 673, absolutely crazy. The ladder just allows you to kind of place orders a little bit quicker. That's kind of why this is here. And this one kind of it shows you a bit more where the buyers are a little bit. I mean, this one obviously shows you where the buyers and sellers are as well, but this one is a little bit more organized. So you can see here at 408, there's a fat 50 right here, right? You times that by 1,000. I think it's typically 1,000. Sometimes it does switch. Which kind of shows you that there's 5,000 shares ready to sell right here, and this is the price that they're asking for, while the bid is these are buyers, and these are the prices they're willing to buy for, right? And then you can kind of see a little bit of support and resistance in the order book. With large caps, I would say it's not super helpful, but with small caps, you can really kind of analyze it a little bit. Sometimes you can really see key price zones get chipped away. Wow, SPI, guys, just literally broke 730. That was a huge move. Maybe it will go to abolish as $8. Who knows? I would not be surprised. 785, this ticker, I mean, small caps, they can do anything. That's what we were saying. Oh, SPI might just be halted here. Woo-hoo! Congrats to anyone long on this one. Really, really sweet move. Absolutely beautiful. Nice to see the ticker get halted. I'm actually surprised it took this long to get halted because I had plenty of moves that were 10% plus in slower than a 5-minute period. So I'm not sure why this one took so long to get halted. This is going to be a pretty interesting little dipski after that. or it might keep running. I don't know. To me, yeah, it's really hard to predict stocks. And I think as a day trader, people think that you're trying to predict, the price of stocks. You're not. You're looking for opportunities that have good risk reward, and you just take profits and you cut losses quickly. That's pretty much it. You're not trying to predict anything. So yeah, the fact that SPI had a really, really nice strong move up here is really, really much more bullish than I would have ever kind of anticipated. We were talking about this kind of 7 or 660 zone, and then $7 being huge resistance, and it absolutely flew through that. So that's a really good bullish sign. We'll see how long this holds its highs. Eventually it's going to dip, and it's going to be one heck of a dip for sure. No, halted is just from the NASDAQ. A lot of exchanges have a halt rule. If a stock goes up more than 10% in the last 5 minutes, it will get halted. Sometimes there's a bit of a gray zone, so it's not 100%, but that's pretty much it in a nutshell. I feel you, Aaron. You don't want to think about it like something like that. I mean, just it's if you're not trading it, it's super irrelevant. Yeah, Bollisher, you got right on it. SPI halting. SPI. Yeah, it's so nice to see something like SPI. Even though I'm not on it anymore, I just think about it's so good to see volume like this. That means we're going to have a lot more opportunities. That means traders are going to be a lot more bullish. We're going to see stuff like this happen more often. And then, understanding that, you can start getting a bit more aggressive in the next, days and weeks and months to come. So that's really what I'm thinking about. I'm not thinking about, oh, I missed an opportunity here. I'm thinking about, oh my God, this is the beginning of many good opportunities. All right, so SPI is going to open up here at 16. Oh, actually, that's my time zone. It's going to open up at 11, 22, 25. So I'll start streaming till then, and then I got to wrap up, guys. I really got to go. Staying way longer than I should have, but it's, it is what it is. Sometimes you got good activity, and you gotta kind of watch it a little bit. Why not? Don't forget to drop a like, guys. I really, really do appreciate it. Subscribe if you're new. We're going to come out with a recap today, probably focus here a little bit more on SPI, like I've been saying. And then, yeah, we go live every morning at 9:15 a.m. To trade the market open after reviewing the watch list. So check it out. Alex's buddy's waiting in the lobby. Imagine that. That'd be so bad. No, no, no. I always tell people just to go. And the car's gone, which means everyone's gone. All right, Abolisher, feel free to come back anytime. Just remember not to spam the chat room, or else I will have to put you on timeout. Boom, quick sell-off there at 625, but instantly pulled back higher. Big support there at the 650 zone. That's a key area, key psychological zone. Whew, what a ticker. Just watching this is good fun. Let's see, it's trying here. It's trying. It found a support. 785 is the price to crack. These are huge spreads on SPI right now. Just absolutely ridiculous, the spreads on this ticker. Gotta love these low floats. 15 million float, SPI. Launched the new EV subsidiary, which I kind of felt it was a little bit skeptical. It's a Hong Kong solar company, so always a little bit harder to figure out these plays. Maybe it's going to be a swing trade opportunity. Maybe it's going to be an overnight opportunity. Yeah, SPI was a really, really tough one to read today. Calm down. No pressure on that. It was a tricky ticker. This thing went absolutely explosive. I mean, this move higher was just unprecedented. It was so good to see something like that. I wonder if it's going to break 785. That's the big question here. I think buying in these areas would be extremely ballsy, but let's see here, 785. No insights on you. Boom, broke 8, hit 810, 820. This might get halted again if it keeps up like this. Let's see what happens. Buying in these zones would just be absolutely wicked. 835, 8.5. Woo! Sweet, Steven. Nice trade. Good taking profits. Always a smart move. This is one of those tickers that will double your position size in one move. That's a 111% move from that low of $4. Really sweet. Man, what a wicked move to 925. I gotta say, this is really sweet. So next levels I would be looking at, it's a little bit hard to say. So if you scroll down all the way down here, we have these big gap down zones. We had 15. I really don't see anything going to the 15s. We had kind of a low here, a bit of a dip at 838. We're already at 9. That was a strong dip as well. I don't know, we have a key $15 zone. That'd be another 50% move though. We have 9.4, which seems to be a bit of a base here. I'd probably look for 9.4. Well, actually we hit 925, so that's pretty close to it. Kind of seems like this 1250 is an area I would probably consider as well, mainly because we had some retest in this area, and then we broke above it, which was really, really nice. And then we were retesting this area for a little bit of time. So I'm going to kind of mark it as well. So right now we got on the chart 9, 12, 50, and 15.2. I really, really don't see these areas being hit. But again, anything is possible with small caps. There can be so much FOMO. We've seen stocks go from, what was that, like $2 to $60. Sometimes, especially if a stock is easy to borrow, people will start shorting it. They have to cover, keep spiking the price up. More people are buying as well on the breakouts. So sometimes you have these ridiculous rips that make zero sense, but the moves are just very strong and they're super irrational. That's why we don't care so much about fundamentals with small caps, because you have to focus on price action. It doesn't really matter always what fundamentals are, as long as there's a catalyst and as long as there's people trading it and as long as there's a low float. These stocks have big moves, big potential to make big moves, right? All right, Abdul, take care. And yeah, I'm gonna be running out here as well. I'm way behind schedule, but guys, thanks for staying here. It's been an absolutely wicked move on SPI. I don't mind running longer on the streams if we're getting some good activity like this. So it's fun to watch it with you guys and try to think it through. But I gotta run now. Like always, guys, stay safe, make some awesome trades. Drop a like if you enjoy the content. And I will see you guys then first thing this evening in the recap video, and guys, first thing tomorrow morning to trade the market open again. So guys, till then, ciao, ciao.